back to the A to Z podcast. Sorry, it's been a minute. A little bit longer than that, of course. Though I'm back, and I want to talk about now Auburn and how they made it to this point in the Final Four. Auburn's definitely an interesting team. By their previous accomplishments, accolades, they have never, ever made it past the Elite Eight. If they were to get to the Elite Eight, it will be the second time in school's history they would have made it. And let me tell you, I kind of had to doubt on the team. I did see them making the Elite Eight, but nothing past that. Because they ever had to go against a UNC, heavy favorites, heavy underdogs. And specifically after the injury, that team has just rallied around their head coach and is looking special right now. Don't know how to make the Final Four in March Madness, you have to be a special team. Now let me continue forward. Auburn, how did they get to this point? Well, let's talk about the SEC Conference. They went and beat South Carolina 73-64. They beat Florida 65-62, a close game. And don't forget, Florida did win their first round. They lost in the second round. Tennessee, 84-64. Got to the Sweet 16 in March Madness. In the March Madness tournament, I was going ballistic because the final minute or two of that game, Auburn was doing everything and anything to lose that game practically. I also knew Mexico State. It was practically which team could do less mistakes. And that final minute, both teams were making so many mistakes, I couldn't even count. It was horrendous. Somehow, by a miracle, because I think that Auburn does deserve to win that game. They just should have played smarter because it wouldn't have been a 1-point win. It would have been much more. Though, in perspective of this game, I see this game as a teaching moment. This game taught them, hey, yo, we can't allow silly mistakes like this to happen ever again. If we do, we will lose in this tournament. So sometimes some things happen for a reason. I think that game was a great indication of that for this team. And like I said, this was a blessing in disguise, in my opinion, for this Auburn team. It helped them throughout to get that change, get back into that rhythm. Against Kansas, they destroyed Kansas 89-75. Murdered the heavy favorites, University of North Carolina. 97-80, MJ's team. I feel sorry for MJ a little bit because this team had a lot of promise. UNC looked like a team to beat, and they did. As well with that, they beat Kentucky 77-71 in order to make the Final Four. I believe that this game against Kentucky was a monkey off of their chest. That's why Auburn, our Virginia, I would not take them lightly for a second. This is one of the first teams to ever beat a combo of Kansas, UNC, and Kentucky. Most teams that do this, if I'm not mistaken, all of them have won the tournament. So, if I were Virginia, I will not take this matchup at all lightly. And of course you shouldn't. No one should. In the Final Four. Though Auburn, I wouldn't have them as heavy underdogs. Although the betting odds had them as heavy underdogs. This team has already proven a lot. And through adversity with injury. Coach Auburn, Bruce Pearl, has gone through that adversity. One of his main players, the one in UNC that propelled them to get that victory, Chuma Okeke, I hope that's how you pronounce it, tore his ACL. That impacted the whole team, and the positive, though, it rallied them closer to say, hey, we might be better with him, but we're going to do it without him, and we're going to have to make this run happen. And we're going to make it happen. And they embodied their head coach, Bruce Pearl, gathered around him, and we're like, we're going to listen and make this happen. Just like Bruce Pearl said, this team has formed as one. And one more heavy note, Kentucky, Back in February of 23rd, I say the monkey off their chest earlier. Reason being, Kentucky beat them 80-53 back in February of 23rd. And then you go on to beat them 77-71 in the tournament. That's when it matters, man. It doesn't matter about the regular season. That's why Golden State, they don't care about winning all the games in the world. And I'll get on to that a little bit later about Golden State, about Denver. Oh, that was a great game. Auburn just showed that it doesn't matter in the regular season. It just matters when it matters most. March Madness and their SEC tournament, we got to rally around and make it happen. We got to make this run. We got to unite and become one. That's what happened, and they were doing an amazing job. I will not have them underdogs against Virginia. I see them as both practically equal teams, if not better Auburn. And I'll get into a little reason why when I explain my reason for Virginia.